Hey guys, it's Brittany and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be building this kind of like modern abstract build in The Sims 4. So keep watching and we will get into it. So this time around for this build, I wanted to go for more of like a modern, abstract, contemporary, whatever you want to call it, type build. And you guys know I love my platform roofing, so you guys know I had to add that in. I wanted this house to have like a ton of different levels, and I have like a carport in this one, which is something that I've never added to one of my builds before. But yeah, so you guys know I say this all the time in all of my posts on TikTok that I find a lot of my inspiration from like Pinterest and Tumblr. The inspiration that I found for this build in particular, though, was actually not for the building itself, but it was more for the landscaping in the backyard, and not me saving in the middle of a build, because you guys know me, I save like every 10 minutes because I am not losing another build. But yeah, so my inspiration for this build first came from the backyard, and once you guys see that, we'll kind of get more into it. But off of the pictures that I found off of Pinterest, this was kind of the shape that I wanted to go for. I wanted kind of like the main of the house to be on the left side with the carport on the right, with like a straight path through to the backyard. So that's kind of how I found like the layout. I wanted to keep the color scheme of this house kind of like neutral or like monochromatic. I don't know if that's like the right word, but like grays and blacks. I didn't want it to be super colorful on the outside, because the inside, while it does end up being super colorful, that wasn't my intention to begin with. I wanted to do kind of like a black and white modern decoration when I got onto the inside, but as I continued building, I kind of thought of a storyline in my head, and I kind of was just running with it at that point. But yeah, so that's where the color scheme for the outside came from. I usually try to keep all of my builds either like tans and browns, or black and white, or black and gray, or all white. I'm not super adventurous when it comes to adding different colors on my builds. I try to be a little bit more adventurous when it comes to like interior design, which, if you guys know me, I typically just build shells. I'm just now coming into my interior design era. So yeah, so that's what I've been working on, adding more colors to my builds. So you guys will see that more on the inside than you will on the outside. I like to keep the outsides kind of like clean and crisp, so that when I do upload them, because this build will be available on my gallery as a shell and as fully decorated as I have it in the video, even though I do have a ton of custom content. That is part of the reason why I give you guys shells, so that if you guys don't use custom content, the outside is just packs. There's no custom content in like the exterior design, so you guys can download it and do whatever you want. If you do have custom content, then you can just work from that, or if you don't, then you can just keep it base game like how the outside is. But now we are getting into the backyard, which is, like I said, where I got my main inspiration from. So the inspiration was just like a long square backyard with these like wavy, curvy planters. I like the like juxtaposition between the, like all of like the straight lines in the build to like these little curvy planters. If you guys aren't familiar with the debug items in The Sims 4, what I'm using right now to line the planter boxes are actually like packages like that can get like dropped off at your house, or like in your mailbox, like if you get like fan mail and stuff like that with like, what is that, City Living. You guys get them in like these little boxes, and one of the swatches is gray, which is something that I use to line my planter boxes all the time, like little stones. But yeah, so I like the little curvy design. I think that it's like a really good like juxtaposition to like the rest of the house, and I wanted to keep the colors, like I said, monochromatic, just green and white. I didn't want to add a super bunch of like different colors on the outside. So yeah, most of these plants are just like regular plain green. I do end up adding like some different trees, which I think adds kind of like a little bit of like texture to the backyard, so it doesn't seem so like bland and cut down. You know, sometimes you see like those like modern houses and they have like no landscaping, no trees, no plants, and it just looks like they literally just built the house. There's not even any plants planted yet. I didn't want it to look like that. I wanted to add like a lot of trees so the house looks like old and like lived in, if that makes sense. So yeah, but here I am just adding some more landscaping around the house. I would have lined these other two planers on the side of the carport and the front of the house with the stone slash packages, but those take so long. This video is sped up ×8, and the clip that I had for placing down the stones just in the backyard was probably close to like 30 minutes long. And I, just for like the sake of watching this and like being somebody who's gonna watch this on YouTube, I was like, they're not gonna want to watch me put down rocks for 30 minutes, so I cut all that out. But yeah, so that's probably the reason why I didn't end up putting them in the front yard either. I just put in some rocks to kind of fill all of the empty gaps, so there wasn't a ton of like empty spaces. Here you see me using the tool mod by Twisted Mexi. You're gonna see me use that a few times throughout the entire build. I don't know if I would be able to live without the tool mod, to be honest. Since I actually started like getting into building and interior design, I end up using it more than I thought that I would have. While I have been into like custom content and mods in The Sims for years, since I bought my first gaming laptop, I was never into like building mods or like UI mods or anything like that. It was just like gameplay mods and Create a Sim CC that I was really focused on. But since I downloaded BBB, or Better Build By and Tool by Twisted Mexi, I think that it's given me like a lot of creative freedom when I am building. Because sometimes just like the regular Sims mechanics just aren't giving. They're just not giving like they're supposed to, and those add like a little bit of like extra like je ne sais quoi, if I do say, you know, like it just gives you like an extra little like amount of like fun things that you can do with your builds. And I think that that's like the whole point that we're here for, is just being able to have fun with our builds and not being stuck to like the cookie cutter aspects of just like the regular Sims mechanics. And I think that is something that like custom content and mods really bring to the game. So if you are someone who doesn't use mods and you do have a PC and you want to have kind of more like creative freedom, I think that that is what custom content and mods is all about. So here you guys see me putting in like these columns and these little wall trim things to kind of make like a little housing for the stairs. That it was not functional. It wasn't. I've done this in my builds before, but for some reason, no matter what I did, it was just not functional in this house, so I ended up deleting them. So when you do see the final pictures, they're not going to be there, but I think that is a cute little thing that you can do with your stairs if you don't like just having like the base or, you know, whatever. Alright, so now we're really getting into like the nitty gritty of the interior design. As you see, just about everything that I've placed down so far has been custom content. I do use a lot of custom content in my builds, and I'm going to try my hardest to make a list of all of the things that I used. But when this video is uploaded and you go down to the caption, and I'm either going to try to do like a Tumblr post with all of the links, or I'm just going to try and put all the links in the caption. But since this is kind of one of my first videos, I don't know if they'll let me put so many links in the caption, so we'll see. Wherever it ends up, it's going to be a link in the caption. And if you see something in the build that's not listed in the caption or in like the links, just let me know. You can either like send me a message or you can leave a comment on this video and I will try my hardest to get back to you. I'm very like, where can I find friendly? I'm not, you know, don't gatekeep. There's no point in gatekeeping custom content. Most of the custom content that I have is free. The only things that I probably have ever paid for are like hairstyles or skins or animations. That's it. Like the little dance animations, or, you know, the Wicked Whims animation, you know, I'm gonna be honest, like, those are probably the only things that I ever paid for, and if that, it was a couple of dollars. Like, it was never nothing that deep, but yeah, I try not to pay for any of my custom content. I don't personally think that they should be charging for custom content that came out in, you know, 2019, 2020, 2021, but you know, not everybody follows all the rules, so there's that. But yeah, I do use a lot of custom content. I think that it is, you know, it amplifies the gameplay for me personally. But there are packs and lots of like stuff packs and kits, is that what they're called, that you guys can get that have like a lot of really cute stuff. I'm gonna be honest with you. Once I start, oh sorry if you hear my dog in the back, but once I start to get upstairs and I start to get into the bedroom that's all the way upstairs. I think I use a lot of stuff from like the pastel pop kit. I think that's what it's called. And some of the stuff they have in there is so cute. Like, it's really underestimated. Like, that one, and what is it, like, the Modern Luxe, and, like, the Maximalist kit, and the Desert Luxe kit. Like, those actually have, like, some really, really cute stuff in it that really kind of, like, surprised me when I saw it at first. You know, some of the Maxis stuff is kind of, like, very like cookie cutter, very generic, which makes sense, so they can be kind of like more broad spectrum stuff. But some of the stuff that are in these kits that are coming out nowadays are super cute, and people really underestimate them. One of the questions that I get asked a lot are what are my favorite packs. So I'm going to kind of like list my favorite packs from like the expansion packs, the stuff packs, the kits, and whatnot. So starting with the expansion packs, my top 3 out of all the expansion packs are probably going to be Cottage Living. No, scratch that. We're going to do Growing Together, High School Years, and probably Eco Lifestyle. Just because all of like the build buy stuff and all of the creative sim stuff that came with those are so cute. Like, all of the stuff that came with High School Years, like the bed and like the chairs and the string lights and the wall decor, all that stuff is like so cute. It's very like teen aesthetic vibes, but I love all of the stuff that came with that pack, and I find myself going back to them all the time. Real quick though, in a couple of seconds this video is going to cut out from the kitchen to upstairs. I recorded the wrong screen for like 30-45 minutes and lost the clip of me doing the dining room and I think some of the upstairs. But yeah, other than that, everything else is going to be in there. You'll see the dining room and everything in all of the pictures at the end. But yeah, just saying that I missed those videos. But so yeah, what did I say? Eco Lifestyle, High School Years, and Growing Together are probably my top 3 expansion packs, just from like a build buy aspect and creative sim aspect. All 3 of them are really good. And then for game packs, my top 3 are going to be Dream Home Decorator, Parenthood, and probably either Strangerville or Dine Out. The only reason that I can't decide between Strangerville and Dine Out is because they have like a lot of build buy things that I like from both of them. Like, I like the things that came with Dine Out that are like kind of like the modern, kind of like modern contemporary. So like the wall, like the sconces and the little planter box that I'm pretty sure that I used in the downstairs bathroom. It's just like a little like hanging wall plant. I probably use that in all my builds. The little like orb with the candle in it that would sit like on the table from Dine Out, like I love those. I love all of like a lot of the aspects that came with Dine Out. And then I like Parenthood because typically when I am doing gameplay, it's like mom and dad, a whole bunch of kids, always. If I'm doing gameplay, I'm like, let's try the 100 baby challenge again. I've tried it and started it like 5-10 times, but never finished it. But if I'm ever playing the game, I'm like, let's just have a bunch of kids. So like, that's probably why I like Growing Together and Parenthood so much, because they kind of have like the same like storyline aspects to it. And then Dream Home Decorator came with like a ton of super, super cute stuff. So for a second, we're going to break away from saying the packs and stuff and talk about this room and the storyline that I was going for. So the storyline as I started building was a mom and a daughter, a teen daughter, live together in this house, and the mom is like a business mogul. She is constantly traveling, constantly out of town, out of state, out of country, whatever. She makes all the money, she pays all the bills, and the daughter just stays at home and she focuses on her art. And so she has kind of taken this room that was probably like a little like lounge area, seating area, probably just had, like some couches and, some seating and that type of thing, and changed it into her little like work studio. And then when I started to go into what would technically be the master bedroom, because it's the bedroom on the lowest level, when I went into it, I was like, okay, I think that it should be very bland. It should be very like cookie cutter. It should be very like monochromatic, because mom's never really there, and when she is there, she's not there for a really long time, so it's not like any of her things are in the room. There's no personal touches to this room. It's just very like, it's giving almost like hotel. It's giving, like staged. Like if you were trying to sell the house, this is exactly how you would stage the room. So that's why I kept it kind of like very monotone. The bed matches the side tables, matches the art on the wall, matches the flooring. Everything kind of just, is very, very bland, monochromatic. And the mom stayed here before, obviously before, like the teenager was a teenager. So she had like her little like vanity, and she had her little dressing room that she loved, but she doesn't come there that often. So there's not really that many clothes in it. There's not that much attention being put into this room. Maybe like this is the room that like, the housekeeper stays in. Maybe, she uses that bedroom as like the guest bedroom when mom's not home, because mom's not home for, 6 months out of the year. So that's kind of like the storyline that I was going for. You're gonna see as I continue to move through the house that the daughter's room that's upstairs is gonna be like the most eccentric, the most colorful, while everything in the house is very like monochromatic and, very like cookie cutter. Mom sees catalogs and she likes the way that things looks, and she wants everything to look just like how it looks in the magazines, even though it's not practical. So yeah, that's what I was going for. But in a couple of seconds after we finish this bedroom, we're going to be going upstairs, which is like, the creme de la creme of the house, really. That is the teenager's room. I didn't give her name, or I didn't like make any Sims to go in there, but that's kind of just like the storyline that I was formulating in my head as I was continuing to build. The bedroom that is upstairs is like super duper colorful. I think like its main color is pink. So yeah, I think we're heading into it right now. So at first, when I started building the room, before I had came up with the whole storyline, I was like, this is going to be a boys' room, and I'm going to do like kind of like an in-home gym right next to the bed. So like all he cares about is working out and this. And I was like, oh, that's so lame. I just think it would be so much more fun if it was like a girl's room. So that's what I ended up going for. You see me putting down like this blue bed, and I think I ended up putting like a mirror on the wall. Yeah, a big mirror. And I started putting like a training bag, and then I took that out and I was like, oh, this looks so bland. I don't want the upstairs to be blue. So that's when I ended up switching it over to pink. I placed that easel because like I wanted to go with the whole storyline of like him being a painter and whatnot. But speaking of the high school years bed, this is it. This is the bed that I use in a lot of my builds for my teen room. I just think it's really like cute, super girly. I think it goes with the aesthetic of the room. She has her Khalid posters and her little Polaroids, the Over It album cover, her little fun, colorful, kind of groovy rug. I think that it all just kind of like starts to tie together as we come up here. Lots of pinks, lots of like teal, orange, white. Had to have the rainbow flag in there because, why not? But yeah, so like this room is like super fun. I feel like this is probably where she spends a lot of her time when she's not in like the art studio. This is where if she's having friends over, she brings them upstairs to her room because she knows like her mom, if she comes home, she doesn't want them being in her living room, messing up her, her nice furniture. Dishes are always done. The pillows are always chopped, or always, have like the little perfect points. She wants her house to be like very cookie cutter. So this is the room that is kind of more cluttered. She's got her shoes on the floor. She's got her magazine piles. She might have some clothes on the floor. Laundry may not be getting done. This is the room where she, really has like the space to be herself. And I think I put a lot of like pinks on the wall, but when you see the screenshots at the end, I think I added a little bit more like blues and teals. that type of thing, because I thought it was just way too pink. But yeah, so that's kind of like the storyline that I was going for. I think that it fits the house really well, and I think that it's still very like functional. Everything that's in it is like everything that you would need to like function if you were just like a teen in the house. But like, mom still has her rules, like don't paint on my walls, don't make a mess, don't destroy any of the stuff that I left there, that type of thing. But yeah, you guys, that's it. That's the whole video. And like I said, this build is going to be uploaded on my gallery as a shell, and as it is in the video, there is lots of custom content in it, and I'm going to try my best to link all of the things in the caption of this video. If you don't see what you're looking for, feel free to comment or message me, and I will try my best to get a link back to you. This right here is the dining room that I said that I missed out in the video, so if you want to go back and look at that. But yeah, we have the art studio and the bedroom, and everything's just super cute. But let me know what you guys think. Thank you for listening to me ramble. This is my first voiceover, so I hope you guys liked it. But yeah, love you guys, love all the support. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you guys have a great day.